What's up, Blue Chips? It's Friday. There's no watch list. There's never any watch list. Volume kind of sucks. Volume on this is a little high. But we actually have our green screen up today. He's being really good this morning. So, let's get to it. All right. Hopefully we can find something here on Friday morning. This should hopefully, I don't know. Fridays are always typically not that great, but that's why we got these scanners. I was watching PCG. This thing has just been on a ride. Scroll out a little bit. So if we want to look back here was before they had the initial lawsuit for the fire back in 2016 or 17 or whatever, and I guess they lost it. And as you can see, they started to kind of recover a little bit as that was going away, and then bam, they got smacked with another lawsuit because of the huge fire out there that killed a bunch of people, destroyed so many homes. And this one, from the beginning, they had claimed that it was like one of their towers or boxes or something, like the transformer, something malfunctioned and caused the fire. I don't think any of that's been actually proven just yet, but as you can see, that thing went from $50 all the way down here to, what is this, $17.26. Now, I actually, after it stopped, I think it was one of these days here. This is back when I was trying like swing trades every once in a while. I think it was probably like the third day after the bottom. Or no, I think it was the next day because I remember being underwater for a couple days. I actually got long. It had to be here because then it went back down. And I had like a 20-something average. It was like 20. No, I guess it couldn't have been this day because I thought it was lower. I mean, maybe it was 23-something. I don't remember. It had to be. It had to be. That's the only way that would make sense. Unless it was on this day. But anyways, I got long. And I remember having to wait a couple days. And I was like, crap. It had to be this day because I remember saying, crap, this thing's going to go back down to the lows. I was basically an investor at this point saying, holy crap, if they just say they're not going to get blamed for this, maybe it'll just bounce up, somewhere into the 30s. We can make some money. But then it started going back down. I was like, crap. And then luckily we got bailed out. I remember making like $100 on this, but I held it for like a week. And I was just happy to get out of it. And I ended up selling somewhere like in the middle here just to basically get out. I was happy with it. And then as you can see, it went sideways. And then I guess like the whole bankruptcy claim started coming in. And then it went all the way down here. And yeah, now they're at all-time lows. It's oops. Well, they were. I don't know if they are anymore. What was the all-time low? 507, and it got down to, it was lower than that this morning. Oh, there's the bell. Holy crap. Yeah, we were down under 5 today. 485. So, all right. Good luck, everybody. SA, what's up? Marketing, what's up? Everybody, stay safe. Stay green today. We're just kind of waiting for something to pop up here on the scanner, and we're going to hopefully get a play. Hopefully it fits our edge, and we'll go from there. As you can see, we hit 700 subs. I don't know if it was last night or this morning. That was pretty awesome. I woke up and I was like, that's pretty cool. 300 away from the old infamous 1,000. I don't even know why I have SQQQ and the SPY up. I think I just brought them up earlier when I first woke up. See, PAAS. That's kind of moving. I just saw this on the scanner here. It's the first one green. Didn't quite hit an alert or anything. Volume on it is not that great. It's not super extended yet. I wonder, is this on earnings? I don't have like yesterday's earnings up. Seeing if it was before market open this morning. There's a lot of earnings this morning. Holy crap. No, I don't see it on there. Yeah, just no volume there. We'll keep an eye on it. Just scrolling through these, just kind of seeing what's up. Here we go with the new charts again. I can't wait till the end of the month so we can get back over to DOS. It's been a little ridiculous. EHTH. It's a lower float. Not a huge fan of lower float, lower volume, high price. That's a recipe for disaster. What is going up on over here? Let's see, Trav. We're obviously not going to play that. It's a lower float. Let's look at PCGs getting whacked again. Yep. VZ. Oh, yikes. See, this has a lot of volume. AXU. Let's bring that one up here. AXU. No shares there. Big float. Not a lot of volume. I mean, decent volume for right at the bell. I'd say within the first 5 minutes, if you have at least 300,000 in volume, it's not too bad. Paul, how you doing, man? Good morning. Didn't quite catch this, but that would have been one of the good. Again, I've been just paying attention to them a little bit more, but finding this is no different than if it was exactly what I'm looking for, like over here on AXU, just in the opposite way, right? So we're looking for the big intense moves both ways. I just tend to like the shorts a little bit better. I'm just a little bit short biased. That's all there is to it. I feel like the longs just don't work as often. So as I'm building my account, I like to just feel comfortable and take the ones that I feel are going to work more often. So Vips. I don't think we have shorts on Vips. Or I don't even know what it's doing. Let's see. Okay, some decent volume here. Okay, so it's on the scanner, just not all the way up there. There's a lot of them that are kind of on the scanner right now. Like, we're obviously not going to play this. See what HL's doing. We had already brought that one up, didn't we? AMAG. There's Vips rising towards the top there. So we're at like a 30-cent move here. VWAP still here. It'd be nice to see this thing go high a day, like right to 11, like on this same move. That would be nice. INTC. It's a good find. We got a ton of, what is this in the, what the heck? Look at those wicks. What the heck's that all about? What's the float on INTC? $4.4 billion? Holy crap. That's a huge float. I don't know how I feel about that with yesterday. What? That is just interesting. I mean, look at the volume too. It wasn't that much more than what we're seeing now, and it made this kind of a move. I don't understand what these wicks are. Was this earnings? Was this after hours and I just can't see it? Yeah, okay. So that was earnings or something. So this is probably, I'm going to say a long, because it obviously stayed above where it was trading. So I'm going to, yeah, they're definitely fake wicks for sure. I'm going to stay away from this until it gets up towards that line if it wants to. We'll see what it does up there. Not a huge fan of it. Vips I'm pretty interested in if it wants to make a move above here and extend. So like if it got through here and went straight to 11 on some volume, we'd be interested there. INTC, if it wants to get back up there towards 57 all on the same move, then I'll be more than happy. But that would be 54 up to 57, $3. So we'd be starting that with like 25 to 35 shares. Here, if it got to so this would be about 80 cents. So we'd be right around 100 shares on this one. UFN, I don't like the volume on that. Can pull it up anyway just because of AMAG we can't play. Just don't like the volume here, even though it's making a pretty nice move. Excuse me. I'm trying to do better. Drinking a protein drink instead of the balls this morning. This is a pretty big move. 37 to 41. A 4-point move. And look at that spread. Spread was horrible. I just, I might have missed out on this one just because I'm a little biased on it because of this yesterday, but I'm going to stick with my plan there. I just, we got the previous resistance here with the overextension from it, but I'm just not a fan of playing it like that. I don't know, it scares me a little bit, knowing it could just squeeze up to that point. Yeah, that's another reason I'm switching the DOS. I mean, you can have it. You can set that. I took all those lines off. They just, for some reason on Sterling, like the horizontal vertical lines and stuff, it just looks god awful to me. What the heck is going on here? I wish this would have made like one more move, and then we could have tried the other strategy, like where now it would be below 55.14 would kind of be the entry, and you'd be risking high of day. But I'm not exactly happy about it. If anything, this kind of looks like one of them 3-bar plays where you'd be looking to get long at 55.50, risking off of 55.14. So the entry short would probably be right here. Here goes VIPS. Be real nice to see this thing get some volume and go right to 11. So all these are kind of working. Just none of them are really fitting our edge. I mean, INTC kind of does. So it's a little frustrating with this one, but I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen one like this in a while where it was, usually the earnings and then it'll go higher. But to come all the way back down like this and then try to start going higher again, I don't know. It's just a little sketch to me. I would love to see Vips just squeeze here. Oh, man. Can't stop yawning. Yeah, INTC, I definitely would have needed to see this go a little bit further. At least up to like 56.50 area. So then I could, not necessarily risk off 57, but just know that the resistance is a lot closer. Because, I mean, look at where we're at now. Based off the previous resistance, if this range, or in the bottom half of the range, I'm not going to start a position there knowing that it could go to the top of the range. It's just not what I am in the mood to do this morning. Tried it, same what it did. It actually faked out using that other strategy there, right? So 55.14 went right below it to 55.12. Maybe a bunch of people looking to get short there, riding it back down, and look, it went high a day. So there's an instance where that strategy wouldn't have worked. Got to pay attention to both sides. You can't just pay attention to when it would have worked. So our main watch right now is VIPS. Everything else is not really doing what we want. UFS is just up there because I don't have anything else to pull up. I'm not going to pull Boom up because it's a lower float and the volume's a little bit lower. I mean, VIPS is a little bit slower as well. Volume's kind of dying. Would really like to see this. There we go. Crap. I thought I hit that at 95. It's all right. We're in at 92. Not going to fret over 3 cents. I thought it was going to shoot straight through 11, but it didn't. So that's why we jumped in there. See if we can get a drop right down to like 80. I might just take half right there. Might actually just scalp this if it goes down to 80. If we can get down into the 70s, we're just going to take it. A little bit more. Let's give us that quick flush down into the 70s. All right, we'll take half there since it wants to not give it to us. I was hoping to get that quick flush, but since we kind of got the top, now we can try to ride it back down a little bit. XNet? Sure. And there it was. It was just being a little frisky. Say 65 was kind of the ultimate goal, but if we can get down to 70, we might just take it. That doesn't sound good. Still got that big order kind of sitting there. I don't really pay attention to that because it could just be fake, but it does always help when it's on your side. Kind of plays with people's minds a little bit. Yeah, friskies. You like them friskies for them little kitty cats. Trying to be patient here. There we go. All right, we're just going to take it there simply because it's just feels like it's holding. Our end goal was only another 6 cents, so no risk or no reason to really risk this thing just kind of popping back up for whatever reason and squeezing back up. So I'll be happy with that trade. That was a nice trade. I really wish I would have been a little bit more patient with the first cover. Well, not the cover at all. I would have hopefully got the drop with the full amount of shares, but that's a pretty good trade. Again, we're all looking, or I'm looking to make my quota, which right now is $50 a day. I'm looking to make that in 2 or 3 trades. I'm not here trying to hit home runs on each trade and make my quota right away. So right there, obviously we had our previous resistance line drawn there. I'm looking forward to come back down to it. VWAP is actually still down there as well. So we probably could have been a little bit more patient with it, but if it wanted to pop back up there, we weren't opposed to looking for sloppy seconds, but the odds are it'll come back down and at least test this line here before continuing higher if it wants to, and it might go lower, who knows. But again, I wasn't with the smaller share size. It's really not worth risking just a few cents to miss a good exit point. Well, Paul, as you can tell, Ross isn't doing too hot right now. And I keep trying to tell everybody too, you know, if you guys are here, you know, I'm sorry I'm not showing you the big numbers, but we all have to start somewhere. I'm still new. I'm still learning. I learned it from ISW, to answer your question, Paul. It's pretty much what these scanners are designed for. They're designed to get you to find these big, intense moves so that you can get in for the reversal. It's pretty much exactly what it is exactly what the scanners were made for. So as you could tell, I kind of had a line in my head here, I was looking at the basis of the move. So it started down here at 20 cents. We got up to 65 cents. So I figured if it wanted to continue, I usually cut that in half. So that's 40-ish cents. So I'm thinking if it can go another 40 cents, I'm usually thinking every 20 cents or so would be a good add. So if I wanted to start here, I would have, but I wouldn't, because I'm always looking for, I'm just saying if I would have. If this was all high of day here, I'm basically looking for the full move. Like if I go over real quick and look at my chart that I made here, from 20 cents to $11 is 80 cents. So we'd be right in this area. So that's why I chose 100 shares, because we were pretty close to it. So if it wanted to keep running, I would assume then I would add 40 cents up, and then I'd look to add 40 cents up again, just because look how extended that would look if that was the case. That obviously goes out the window if things start to consolidate and then go higher. So, and as you can see, we're pretty close to right so far. We'll see what we're actually going to keep an eye on this. We'll see what it wants to do. This is one of them ones where I like to let it go, and then when it starts to come back down, we get in, and then you can risk off high a day, which is pretty nice. If I would have got it at 95 like I thought I did, we would have been pretty close. It would have been 2 cents off the top. And for smashing the bid, that would have been pretty nice. But Paul, if you want to go back into a lot of my older videos, I explain my strategy a bunch. I do need to just I need to just make a video solely based on talking about my strategy. There was a Friday night live stream where I did do that, but that was a while back. But I mean, it's still relevant. I'm just basically fine tuning that same strategy. And this is all I trade right now. I'm only trading one strategy because that's my edge, and I'm building my account right now. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Ross's method is definitely a sprint. What did you see, Ross? He's starting another small account challenge. APA? Did I miss APA? Oh, it's on the other side. See, I don't really look up at that scanner too much because I don't really play these. But yeah, so this is the same exact thing. So we'd look here, look at this previous support. We'd be looking for this to at least try to come back up to that. I'd probably move it down to here. I mean, even more. There's even more support if you want to keep scrolling. Let's go out to the daily. Yeah, see, I'm not a huge fan of these. I like all-time highs, all-time lows type plays. But I mean, I guess you technically could. A lot of people actually like these better because they have more points for it to kind of bounce off of. I'm trying to scroll out to see where this line is true. But these are essentially the same thing. So you would look, so 23 all the way down to 21. So we're at 2 points right now, so we'd be starting with 50 shares. Like I always play these on paper when I do. Like we actually have a ton of volume here. So let's just try this out on paper. I have to make sure I stay on this. So 50 shares. So basically it made a 2-point move. So we'd be looking to add every point now. So here's that first line that we drew. Plus usually and the whole dollar. I love whole dollar, half dollars. So we'd be looking, yeah, so 2 points. So if we were to add, we'd be looking to add down at a point. And VWAP is actually all the way up here at 2191. Let's see if we can get a bounce off of this line. Now, a lot of these and longs, everybody will say too that, I mean, it's the same strategy, it's just in reverse. But everyone will tell you that longs take longer. So here we go, we're going right down through. So here's one of those support lines. I think this was the lowest one we had, right? Yeah, well, there's the low here, which is all the way down here at under 20. Okay, we're bouncing back up. Jack, eventually I am. As you can hear my kid in the background, and you can probably hear Peppa Pig up on the TV. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, my oldest is in school, but I have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So right now, they're kind of shit shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So here we go. We're getting a little bit of a squeeze. So it's kind of feeling like it's getting, there we go. I don't have like buttons set up for this because I don't really do it too much. Like I don't have like a sell half. I mean, I could just put it in, but I probably would look to sell half there. and try to ride the rest out. Let's see if we can. There we go. All right, so let's sell half there. Go back. And we'd be basically looking for the exact same thing. I mean, it's like the same trade. It's just in reverse. And if it wants to come back down, it'd be tough to let this go all the way to low a day. We'd probably look for the break of this, which is under 21.95. Really, just the break of 21 is probably not good. Probably look to just get out. I'm just not a huge fan of playing these, but it's the same. It's literally the same exact thing. It's just I know the human psychology behind these trades is a lot different. You know, people see the big drops like this and they're afraid to buy it. So it tends to, you know, possibly keep going. Whereas when you get these over here, like on VIPS, when it's going up and up and up, you have people that are FOMOing into the trades, but at the same time, you have the people that are taking profit. So they're kind of fighting each other. Where over here, it's kind of hard. People aren't really, while this is happening, stepping in to buy because they're probably a little bit scared that it could just keep going. But you can't deny a huge intense move down like this. So we were kind of hoping to get a little bit of a break. Let's see if we can consolidate up here. I just realized that I didn't fix that either. Sorry. Guys are probably looking at that like, what the heck? There we go. So I was thinking 2150. Probably could have put an order out there. See if we can just get the pop through. Let's put it at 53. See if we can get it. 51. 53. There we go. So there you go. So that's exactly I mean, look at this. Look at this chart and then look at this chart. They look almost identical. I personally am just not to the level where I feel comfortable trading these just yet. But it's the same exact thing, and it came right off the scanner. Marketing called it out. I looked up. It was at, I think, 22 on the I3, and that's as a $20 stock. So that's pretty impressive. That's an intense move. So we pulled it up. And we got that half. And I also still imply, like other parts of other strategies, like the $half whole dollar, it's always a key break, right? So as you saw, this is a pretty intense move back up. And it took all of that to get through a $half up here. So that's why I sold up there, knowing that we were probably going to get this pullback because it took all the buying pressure to get up to that point. So I'm not saying it won't consolidate here and try to go higher, but I don't really care at this point because I'm out of the trade. XNet, yeah, sorry. I was watching INTC, but the volume's like really dying off on that. Just gonna take a picture of this real quick for the chat. So as you guys can see, VIPS was a real trade. That's one I'm more comfortable taking just on the short side. But I always like to practice these because in the future when I have the bankroll for it, I do plan on playing these. It's the exact same strategy, just the opposite way. I just tend to get a little bit more scared about them. And this actually looks like it's doing some sloppy seconds here. This actually wouldn't be a bad trade to risk off right here if it gets through 80 and then just risk off of. That's a really short stop though. I was going to say risk off 85 or 86. We'll keep an eye on this. Let's see what it does. Like if you put a stop short in here at 79, so it fills you as it's going through. It might even be 78 just to be safe because this is kind of a little bit of a descending triangle here. And then just risk off of here. So 85, so 86. So you'd be risking 6 cents to hopefully get a push down here for about 20 cents. But it needs to break that key level first. So here it goes, down to 80. It's a big float. I'm surprised this thing moved the way that it did. This is the one that was 4 billion, wasn't it? Or was that the other one? This one, well, I mean, it's not this one. This one's 584 million, though. Do you like the 2-minute chart more than the one? Yes, I do. Yeah, so Tom in chat right now, he's actually the one that kind of brought me onto that strategy that I was just explaining. And it's the one that I traded on paper yesterday because I'm also practicing that one just a little bit. Because it's pretty nice. So there we go, 79. There was a big order there, 79. It got wiped out, or it was fake. Probably fake. So right now you'd be in 78. You're risking 86. So yeah, 6 cents. Or 8 cents. Sorry, I can't do math. But you're looking to get a move all the way down here. So you're looking for, I guess it's not 20 cents, but about 15 cents. So you're 2 to 1. You're looking for about 2 to 1 on this. Yeah, so APA actually looks like it's probably going to hit VWAP here. And most likely it'll turn around a little bit, would be my guess. Took it as in you took it off, or you took the trade? Let me catch up real quick. I was in that trade, Paul, so sorry. Yeah, I planned on digging through your archives this weekend. With any free time I have outside of work, I'm always studying, even while on breaks at work. Yep, you sound just like me. If I'm not dealing with the kids, I'm most likely doing something trading related. I'm in this to win it. For about the last year, I've been pretty nonstop, and I don't get tired of it. I just love learning the ins and outs of everything, trying to figure out ways to perfect my strategy. I'll go back and I'll like replay my losers on demand on Thinkorswim, and obviously I do my best to not know what's going to happen. That's usually why I'll wait a little while before I do it, and a lot of times you just realize that even with your improved knowledge and the way that you've improved your strat, sometimes losers are just losers. It's just what happens. Sometimes you're just wrong. Like, you're not always going to be right. And it's such an awesome way to practice. Like, it's literally 24/7 practice right there at your disposal. It is really cool, and it's free. PCG down to 550. Why are we watching XNet here? Who was that? Young Triad Beats. What's up, man? How are you playing XNet here? I know I'm not going to play Trov. That's why I'm not pulling it up. XNet, if I remember, is a low float, right? No, not too bad. 66 million. We don't have any shares on it though. This is what I would classify as a grinder. So sure, we have a resistance line here that it's breaking. But as you can see, it's just kind of grinding its way up. It's not really making an intense move. Where look at the wide range candles over here. Like, see how big these candles are? That's what we're looking for. And the fact that it made this move, and here's another good learning point. Look at the move it made here from 25 to 58, and look at the volume it took, right? Well, we made almost that same move over the course of 2 candles on not even close to that amount of volume, right? So that's a good indicator that there's not going to be any follow through. Now, if this candle or volume candle was higher than this candle, then you might not want to enter there. You might want to wait for it to push a little bit more because it shows that buyers are stepping in, maybe shorts are covering, et cetera, et cetera. But if it makes that move on not a lot of volume, the odds are you're going to get a little bit of a reversal, even if it's just a quick one, because there wasn't a lot of buying pressure to really push through that key level. And there goes APA, if you had any leftovers. So here goes XNet actually trying to make a big move, but as you can see, it's just kind of, it's set in a range as far as its candles right now. As you can see, it's coming up on the scanner now. So it would be interesting. I mean, look at this candle. See how much it's bigger than most of the rest? And the volume did kind of come back in. Like, it's kind of relevant to some of these candles over here. And so is the volume. The volume's about the same. The candle's about the same. So you would really you'd want a volume bar like this one, and you'd really want this thing to shoot up to like 330. And then look how extended we are from this previous resistance, which now you could technically probably put it here. So right around $3. And the move started, I would like to say the move kind of started from down here. So around like 280 up to 330. So you're talking about 50 cents. We go, crap, did I hit the right button? We go over to our share side. I wonder why I don't have this on there. There we go. Oh, because I'm over top of it. So let's just move us over here. So come over to our risk shares, etc. here. So 50 cents, we'd be looking 200 shares. That would be our entry if we wanted to play something like that. So yeah, it looks like VIPS was a little bit of a fake out to the downside. Tried to go higher, and now it's kind of faking out to the upside. So that's something we just probably would just leave alone. Not really interested. See if there's a little bit of a VWAP fake there. But this is why you do look at the daily, just to go back over to APA real quick, guys. Look at that. Shot right down to it. So if we were even a little bit more patient, instead of trying to predict, I wonder if we can... Remember this was on the daily. I wonder if it'll scroll back that far. I hate this platform. I really do. So yeah, so we were going off of this little bit of support right here. And that was exactly what it bounced off of. And then we had more support here. And then you had the all-time low all the way down there. So, and I'm sure there's one of the 50 million EMAs on the 1, 2, 3, 5, 15, 30 chart too that it bounced off of. So somebody out there is going to claim, oh, I took this APA trade. It bounced right off the 37.3 EMA today. Works every time. XNet potential to the upside. Let's take a look at the daily here on XNet and see what we're looking at. It's an interesting line that they drew there, or maybe that was the one I had drawn. So we're at a pretty key point here, right? You got support here, previous resistance. So this is a pretty key level. You could get above that and hold it. I mean, look, it's even way back here. 2017, it was, I mean, it's like right on it. Oh my God, I hate this. I can't wait to get back on DOS. I can't wait. So we're still just kind of waiting for the scanners, guys, if anything else wants to pop up. But as of right now, nothing's really kind of popping out at us. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop in and ask. Everything's kind of slowed down at the moment, so I have time to answer anything you guys might want to know. But yeah, Paul, really, just to really kind of give you my strategy in a nutshell, it's really just looking for previous resistance to get broke, and then I look for the extension away from it, and I look to enter, scale into the trade if I have to, and look for it to come down and test that previous resistance and use it as support. And if you want to try to keep some shares to see if it'll go through, then you can do that too. But I tend to exit most of my positions when we get to that point, just because that's what I was looking for. That was the plan. So I try to stick to my plan. To me, it's been a very high percentage play. And thankfully, when that move happened, we had this chart up. It was really the only thing this morning that even looked good enough to play, and that was kind of a fake out through VWAP there on APA. Yeah, I do look on the daily. I'm pretty sure I've looked on the daily on everything that we've looked at today so far. What's wrong? Yeah, careful with that. I don't want you to break it. You break it, you buy it. I'll take your piggy bank. Yeah, I'll take your piggy bank. Sounds like that lawnmower's finally dying. You want some more applesauce? I'll be right back, guys. What are your top 5 patterns of play? I'll answer that when I get back. Really, I only have... Well, I mean, I can still answer that one. I hear the scanner going off. What is it? It's XNet. My entry point, really, it's a combination of things, I guess. It's... I was like, what the heck is that? I don't know why that came up, but... You guys are going to see Peppa Pig for a sec, so I can change this over. There we go. Can't see it because of the green screen. So my entry point is a combination of things. I love to use $half, whole dollar breaks. Just on the, I have to see an overextension based on the move itself. Sometimes it just kind of consolidates then goes, so it's not as intense of a move as this. So I don't really get the extension I'm looking for all the time. But sometimes you get in here and then it just keeps going up to like 1150. But that's all kind of part of the plan. But the first entry is really kind of looking for a key level and then really kind of just feeling the trade. So you're really kind of just looking for that buying pressure to step in, and you're kind of looking for it to just kind of hit the top of the hill, right? And you're looking for it to come back down. I used to use a reference, like imagine you're in a room that has a ceiling and you're climbing up a ladder. Eventually you're going to hit your head, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for you to run out of room, and you basically run out of buyers, and the shorts start to pile in. People start to take profit all at once, and usually that's the top, at least temporarily. So a lot of times this is exactly what happens at the bell. You get these big moves, comes back down, retraces, but if it really wanted to make a move for the whole day, like if it wants to slowly grind its way up, that's what it's going to do. So, and as you can see, it's kind of forming a little bit of an ascending, I mean, I guess you could call it a triangle. If you wanted to draw this line here, just get rid of this line. And then okay, what's going on? Really do not like this software. So, I mean, that's what we're looking at now. But the reason, I mean, technically you can play these too, right? You just risk off the bottom of the triangle. So 66. So again, we can bring up something like the old trusty calculator. So our risk level would be 1066. Entry price, say we wanted to get in anticipating the break of high of day over this candle. So 90, so we'll say 91. And say you want to risk only, say if you wanted to risk $100, it's 400 shares. If you wanted to risk $50, it's 200 shares. So the cool thing about ascending descending triangles like this is you can set a risk, right? And you just literally get in the trade with 200 shares and you can set your stop loss and you're good to go. Either it works or it doesn't. And then if it does work, it's kind of up to you depending on what kind of profit you want. But ascending descending triangles are usually a 1-to-1 play. Which brings me to Young Triad Beats question. The highest win rate ones, I mean, I can just show you real quick. Well, that's my full performance. But if we're just looking for the strategy I'm using now, this is when I started using it, we're sitting at 89.26%. So that's the percentage that we're looking at now, just doing this strategy. I'm assuming it would be around the same if we played these, because it's the same strategy. It's just in reverse. There goes XNet up to 330, but just kind of see how it's grinding though. So it's just kind of grinding. It's not really like big intense moves. PDD. Look, this bounced right off of that line again. This has some pretty good volume. What's going on here? How come I haven't seen this one? Float 635. Hey, can you please stop? I know that is so loud for them. Thank you. You can play with it when Daddy's done this. Hey, what did I just tell you? Can you please stop? I'm asking you. I think that's loud too. Tighten it so you can't. I can't tighten the other piece though. They love playing with that for some reason. I'm sure it's loud for you guys because when I listen back to it, I know it's loud. I'm trying to stop him from touching. Camden, you have 100 million toys. Can you go play with one of them instead of this? Yeah, don't you laugh at me. Don't you look at me. I'm playing hide and seek. Peekaboo. 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 You're silly. Peekaboo. Eating your applesauce. So that would be my first strategy. I'll combine the short and the long in basically to the same strategy. Just call it like the intensity strategy. I'm trying to figure out like a better name for it, but really that's what we're looking for. We're looking for intensity, and that's the move. Really wish I would have been paying attention to this one. It's a little grindy, but what's the daily look like? Man, look at it on the daily. So these are what I typically look for. This never really kind of came up on my radar. Look at that previous resistance. It was used yesterday. It was used again in the early morning. That other line's way down there. So we're like really extended here overall. That would have been nice. Sorry, I'm just checking out. People were posting charts. I already missed this move, so I'm not really that worried about it. So yeah, and then the next two would be ascending, descending triangle. That would be, God, man, that's kind of sucks. Let's see how we would have 30, 39.60 up to, so about 2 points. So we would have started this with 50 shares. I'm curious when I would have started this though, but I wasn't really playing with it. Probably on this bar here. So yeah, we would have probably 41.50 area. Probably would have looked to add. We probably would have looked to add for the 42 pop, which it never got over. So our average probably would have been 41.50, 41.60. So I wonder, and this got all the way back down to 41. So we probably would have took it right there. spread's actually not bad either. Looks like no matter how we played this, though, we probably would have only ended up with 50 shares. Unless we started it down here at 41 for whatever reason. And if we would have did that, 39.60 to 41. So what's that? About a point and a half. So we probably still would have did 50 shares just to be safe. But we would have probably looked to add about 50 shares or 50 cents up. Well, maybe about 75. So somewhere over 41.50. So it might have been nice, actually. Oh, no, not really, because our average probably would have been like 41.30. So it would have probably been about the same winner because we would have had more shares. So if we would have got the drop versus 50 shares up here, it probably would have been about the same, to be honest. Thanks for the input. Going to the bank shortly to finally fund my account. I'm nervous but stoked at the same time, but hey, it's going to fund itself. That's right. By shortly, I mean within the hour. Nice, man. Hey, I remember my first time. It was, and yes, I'm talking about depositing into my account. It's definitely interesting. It's an interesting feeling. But as I always say, let me see if I can point to this right. Do it scared, man. That's what a lot of trading is about. There's a lot of emotions that you need to overcome in trading. But if you had to ask me, learning these setups and seeing them work over and over again, that's the easy part. Really fighting your emotions to actually take the trades and to let the trades work for you is the hard part. And I'd say that's probably 75-80% of trading is the emotional side of it. And that's what creates these moves in the first place, is people's emotions. And that's why the 90% will always be the 90%, because they can't learn to basically trade without emotion. And I'm not even close to that. I still trade with emotion every day. The people that can have an account size or just the ability to trade without emotion are the ones that kill the market, because they can just trade the chart. Like they've seen the chart over and over and over again. That's the other key, is experience. Just stick around, keep trading. Even if you have to go to paper trading, just because you don't have the funds, you need to keep trading, because you will see the same things over and over again, and eventually you just know how it's all going to end up working. And sometimes it won't work. That's the beauty of it. Not every time is going to work. Not every strategy every single time is going to work. Trading in the Zone is actually one of the books, or one of the only books I have in my books section of my my channel to read. It's like the audiobook. My dad is calling me, so hold on one sec. Sorry about that. And by the way, if you feel that you're a more experienced trader, trading in the zone will definitely humble you a little bit. So it's a really good book. I actually listen to it every once in a while for the second time through, just to sometimes, just like I go through the Team ISW Learning Center every once in a while, just to kind of refresh myself. That's kind of what I do with trading in the zone. Do you have any free paper trading platforms? Thinkorswim. All you have to do is make an account with TD Ameritrade. You don't have to fund it or anything. And then you can just use, actually, you can download TOS and just make an account. I don't even think you need to make a TD Ameritrade account. Or maybe you do. I don't remember. But they have the paper trading. Like here, I can show you. So like when I double click the icon to log in to Thinkorswim, this pops up. And then you can literally trade or change between live trading and paper money. So, and it's completely free to make an account with them. So, which, just to show you. To do the on-demand, though, you would have to have the live account, but you don't need to fund it. You just need to use the live account. But yeah, this is Thinkorswim, and I think you can actually set your buying power and stuff. Like you can give yourself whatever you want as far as that goes. One of the first things I would do when you get into Thinkorswim, Tom actually figured this out the hard way. I guess I had done it a long time ago, but you go to General System and then Quote Speed. As you can see here on my paper, because I don't really use this, this is the default. It's set to max delay of 3 seconds. So you want to switch that to real-time delay. Because if you don't, the time in sales, level 2 and everything, it'll only update every 3 seconds, which is kind of crazy, if you ask me. What's that? PCG? PCG just getting slaughtered. That's nuts. Kind of feel bad for him a little bit, huh? They won't let you use it. I don't know of any other free ones. Like within CMEG, they include a free demo account just for being with them. Like you can go to DOS Trader itself, but I think you're still paying the same. I actually think you're paying more. I think you pay $150 just to use their demo account every month. Whereas you could pay on CMEG now with DOS $125 as of next month, and you would have the demo account. But I don't know if you can open up a CMEG account without funding it with real money, though. It's PCG again. Just trying. One of the things, guys, you'll see me, I do not trade based off of anything. I don't trade off of news. I don't trade off of EMAs. I don't trade off of any of that stuff. I just trade off of price action. Volume and pretty much, I mean, that's part of price action, but VWAP's the only thing I have on my chart, and it's really there just as a visual indicator to see how extended we are from the current volume weighted average price. And that's really the only reason I have that on there. I just can't wait to get back to DOS, which I'm actually going to see if I can. I wonder if I still have the demo or if they cut it off yet. Let's see. So it looks like it's still here. Let's open this. So this is what my DOS platform will look like when we finally get back to it. So obviously these will be dragged up a little bit, but so let's go to, what did we trade? Goes to show you of VIPs and APA. What is that? So on DOS, we have this last price line. I absolutely love this thing. It just goes with the price. So it's real easy to kind of see what we're going through. There's my VWAP, and then these two dotted green lines. The thicker, more bright one is yesterday's high of day, and then the more faint one is the day before that's high of day. So like when we start to get above those lines, it lets me know that we're extending away from the previous day's highs. Like over here, you can see APA, which is weird that we had that up randomly. But this, as you can see, the highs are up here. So we are extending away from it to the downside. And then the red line is just yesterday's close. So like a lot of people will judge looking for like the red to green or something like that, or look for it to come back down to that area. But yeah, so this is what my platform will look like starting again, hopefully on November 1st. Hopefully they're quick about it. And I love that I can have my, it's weird that level 2 don't work. This is a demo that they have, so I don't know exactly what they have on and what they don't. But it actually says we don't have permission to even trade that one, but we got the chart. But like down here at Tesla, so this will be like my hot buttons will be back down here. Got the limit up, limit down orders in there as well, which is nice. So yeah, that's what I can't wait to be back onto there. So which one of these did I close? Not that one. Not that one. Of course, it's the last one I choose. How do you set your scanner? Well, first thing I do is it's really kind of default. Everything's default. Minus, I just changed the price. So I have 2 of these, just so that I can know when I'm looking at on this scanner. These are the same exact scanner. It's just this one's set to go from $2 to $20, and this one's from $20 to $80. $80 is my max, just based off of my buying power right now, because I don't want to really chance going any higher and not having buying power if I try to scale into a trade. And that's really, and I have this one set to read 15 on the intensity as an alert instead of 20 for these, just because the higher the price you get, the percentage change is involved in the algorithm for the intensity scanner. So it's a little bit harder for a higher price stock to change its percentage more quickly. So I have it to alert at a little bit lower at 15 instead of 20. Because basically if you get something that's over $20 above 15 on the intensity scanner, that's probably equivalent to something at like 25, 30 over here on the 2 to 20 scanner. So yeah. And then all the other scanners, they're pretty self-explanatory. These are the same things as the plus i3s. They're just the ones that show you the moves down like APA did. And not up. And then these are the 2 trackers for those 2. So if you might have heard an alert going off, like you weren't at your computer or something, and you come back and it's not alerting anymore, you can just look up here, and everything that was alerted on the day, it'll show you on these trackers. Gives you what time it alerted, and then it'll like all the other information that's there. And then there's a bunch of other stuff: gap up, gap down, tops. The bear scan watch list is a really valuable one that a lot of people use. Looking for hangovers for the day. You got high of day, low of day, and then you have like earnings, new IPOs, stuff like that. So pretty much anything that you would need. But the real meat of the scanners are these i3 scanners. They're the valuable ones. That and the bear scan watch list. Yep, no problem. One more question before I leave. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Will CMEG charge me an incoming wire fee? Incoming wire fee? As in like when you withdraw money and it's incoming to you? Or are you saying when you send money to them? Because I know they didn't charge me anything when I sent them money. But my bank charged me money to wire them the funds. Yeah, so when you send money to them, it's your bank that charges you most likely. But if your bank gives you free wires, then it should be no charge at all. So now this is a kind of move we'd be looking for, right? So if we could short, we would love to see something like this keep going through 350. And look at the big intense move here on volume, right? So this is what we'd be looking for. Actually, if we go over to our demo account, we can play this. So from 320, so we'd be looking to get in at like 355, so 30 cents. So we'd be looking like 300 shares. Just do 200. but we wanted at 255 at least. So we wanted to get up there and try to actually show us a move. But this is an intense move. And look at VIPS. VIPS is actually getting some volume and extended through high of day as well. As you can see, VIPS is there. But look at XNet, 32 on the intensity here. A lot of volume, big intense move. Big percentage change. And now VIPS, it kind of broke that. So you can move this resistance line up to here. This ascending triangle worked. Right? If you got in for that ascending triangle, you're risking off the bottom of here. It never even came close to that. And now you're extending through high of day, which is exactly what you'd be looking for. You'd be looking for like that 1-to-1. So if you were risking 15 cents, you're already there. You're at 15 cents. So it looks like XNet is not going to give us what we would have looked for. We'd be looking for that push away from this previous resistance here, right, at 334. So we wanted that $0.50 pop too to really kind of solidify this big intense move. But if it wants to kind of consolidate here right around this previous resistance and use it as support, we're not interested anymore because that's not an intense move anymore. When they charge you? Oh, when you send it, I got you. Yeah, so it's just the bank that charges you. I've actually sent CMEG money twice now at this point, and both times it was just my bank that charged me. It wasn't CMEG. Unless they've changed since then, who knows? You know, everything changes. But I mean, you could actually just call them and ask them real quick. But I know for a fact that it wasn't that way when I deposited. So here we go, coming up through. Let's put an order up here at 55. See if we can get that pop through. Saw 51, so we were through. Looks like it's just going to get shot down. Yep. So now we wouldn't really be interested unless this wants to pop like right back up. Because look at the chart now, right? That's not what we want to see. We just want to see this thing continue to extend. So it's trying to pop right back up. We'll see what it wants to do here. I mean, because VWAP is way down there at this point, right? So we got that in our favor too. This wouldn't be something we'd be looking really for an extended play. And it looks like it. We'd just be looking to get in and look for it to get back under 50, but it's struggling to get over 50. So now I feel like if it does get through 50, we're going to get a little bit more of a squeeze than 355. So we'd want to wait anyway. But this is what you're looking for. You're looking for the volume to push through that key resistance, but you want the extension, right? We didn't really get much of an extension. Only got 16 cents on something that has a range of almost $1 at this point. So that's not really what we're looking for. Thanks, Paul. See you, man. Good luck with that. All you got to do is just take that piece of paper, the printout that they give you, and your bank should know exactly what to do with it. So would have been nice to enter on that 315 pullback. Yeah, I mean, this resistance almost got used as support. A little bit of a fake out underneath it. But once it came back above, that could have been a good buy there. Devin in the Discord was like, is XNet not super low float? And I was like, I thought it was too, but no, it's not. Seems to be my thing now. I take 2 trades, 1 real, 1 paper. But that's just because there's no more real trades that I'm interested in. Same thing here with VIPs. We would have been looking, I mean, we would have been interested in this play. The volume's there, but we just didn't get the extension. We would have been looking for a much more bigger extension. Look at these bars back here. So we know that this stock is capable of something like these moves, but we only got this little bit of an extension through previous. Like we don't want to take a position at 11. The high was 11.14. So even if we top tick that, you know, essentially we're looking for it to just come back down to 11. You know, that's not what we're looking for. Unless you're taking big size just to scalp, but then that's a risky play because it could continue at that point. So that's really not a play that we'd be interested in. And if you really want to look at it now, this actually seems like it wants to consolidate and go higher because you got the big volume, right? But then it's trying to sell off, but it's not really selling off. And there's not a lot of selling pressure. And there goes XNet. See what I said? So let's go back. So that was actually pretty perfect. Wish you were paying attention. That 370 area would have been nice. $372. I guess it's sucking some people in here. I think it's going to go higher. That was a nice pop through. I thought when I looked it up earlier, it said 60, like 65 mil. Yeah, 66 is what I have. I mean, obviously the float can be different anywhere you look. Yeah, it says 66 on the scanner. This feels like it wants to go higher, but so right at 350. So it's still not really that big of an extension. Only 20 cents. Each time this happens, you gotta, like, you can't just keep this old one, right? You can't just keep the old line. You gotta move it up to where there was obviously more resistance. Like, that's the play. So we're looking for it to go through this resistance and extend itself through. Now, if you get the big move, right, and you get back down to this line, that's where you'd want to keep leftovers, because look how far away we are from VWAP. So if you can hold some leftovers looking for it to maybe make a move down towards VWAP, that's what you would do with that. That's how you would try to get down to VWAP. You wouldn't hold size looking for a big move to VWAP. You got to respect these key levels that it's making along the way. Is this APA making a move again? It's actually red on the day at this point. Whoa. See, if you would have kept some leftovers here, or even restarted it. Look at the move this thing's making. I have no idea where this line came from. So this is something that is happening because it's on SSR, right? Once a short squeeze starts to happen, like this was a key level right here. So once this broke, people can't slam the bid, right? So what's happening here is people are buying, people are covering. Why is my chart is lagging? Look at the level 2 and look at where that is. There we go. I can't wait to get off of here. Look at that move. It's pretty much retracing this whole move from earlier. Look at that. But this is a short squeeze. You have this key level. Once it gets up to here, this move starts down in here because people are like, crap, we're coming up to that key level. I'm going to get out. And then everyone, all the shares on the ass start to disappear. And then all the shorts are like, crap. And then, so that's what creates this big candle. Because you have a huge short squeeze, people FOMOing in saying, because a lot of people buy here, right? They look for this curl. They look for it to get to this point, break, so there's nothing to the left after this area here. And they're looking for this to go. And that's exactly what it's doing. And it's on SSR. So that's a disadvantage to the shorts right there. Because you can't smash the bid. You can only get in on the ask. So if people are just constantly FOMOing and buying, covering their shares into the ask, it kind of sucks because you're almost kind of just guessing at this point. It's an immediate disadvantage to want to short something that's on SSR. It's one of my rules, actually. I don't trade SSR. Okay, I'll be right back. Wow. so good this morning. So proud of you. And we're back. Look at Exonet. I told you if it went higher, it was going to want to go higher. So this is kind of an extension that you're looking for. This is something that you would look to start a little bit under 4 because we are pretty extended. So let's split our first entry here, right? So we'll just take it there just in case it doesn't want to get there. And then you put the other half of your first entry above it. So essentially, if it does go through 4, you get the fill on both sides, and it's not a big deal. Right? But at least this way you get into the trade. This is the move we were looking for. Got some good volume. We got a nice extension. This is one I would play for real if I could have, but we don't have any shares. That didn't pop through, did it? It's saying it got up to 408. That didn't even get up over 4. It's a lie. All right, down in the 70s. I guess I should make sure I don't do anything stupid here. We'll take half there. Get rid of that. Make sure we get back over here. This is making some false wicks because that didn't get down there either. It says the 65. Is it just, are my charts just lagging that bad? Why didn't I get filled then if it went up there? I had to order at 405. That's some crazy stuff if it's doing that. So this went all the way down here to 65? I never saw it go below 70. I mean, you guys could see on my screen. So the idea is to pretty much guarantee a nice green trade there. That's weird. I'll have to go back and watch and see if it did happen. I just didn't see it. Because it almost just looked like the wick just appeared. But I was watching the level 1 or level 2. I always call it level 1 because I only look at the top 2 lines. But gotcha. Well, that's why we're just looking for these types of plays. We'd be looking for it to come back down to this previous resistance, obviously, which technically it kind of did. Remember I said we got to respect the new ones that it makes, and there was kind of a resistance here, and that's kind of where it bounced. Let's see if we can't get back down to this other one, though. Or maybe we'll just look to take it all. We got 79 on those. See if we can get down into the 60s again, apparently. So if we can get back down to the 60s, that means we'll get through this area. 72 is where that line is. See, it keeps bouncing right off of it. But see how this candle was much bigger? It was a nice intense move, and we were already extended. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't see the top wick happen or the bottom wick. Not on the level 2 anyway. Sorry, I was reading something from the chat. So obviously we're risking. I would have said high a day, but I didn't think high a day was all the way up there. That's frustrating because we should have had an ad up there for our actual original share size. It's a little frustrating. There we go. Sometimes not staring at your trades is a good thing too. You don't micromanage them. What size of stock would you recommend me sign in with a $1,500 account? It really should all be the same, right? And to be honest, when you're just starting out, you should head into the Discord and get this risk calculator. I have it in the education channel, but it should be the same no matter what. So it's really based off of your risk. So if you have a $1,500 account, say you only want to risk $20 on a trade, you would just take 40 shares of this stock. But if it was a $25 stock and you're risking, say, 50 cents, and you still want to lose 20, is it still? Well, yeah, I guess it's essentially the same. So and it's only $1,000 invested. So you could afford even a $25 stock. And say it's a $80 stock and you want to risk, like, say, 3 points. So you could it's 7 shares. So it's all relative. It's just a matter of what you're really looking to make versus what you're looking to risk. The stock price shouldn't necessarily matter. I mean, it does matter because of buying power, but as far as how you're actually trading, it's really, your risk is the same on a $10 stock as it is a $100 stock. You just have to adjust your share size accordingly. Let's see if we can actually break the 72 area this time. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense, marketing. I don't really know a better way to explain it because it is that simple when you break it down. Have an interesting chat going on in the ISW chat. Somebody took a trade today, and he's kind of getting hammered for it because his strategy was a little off. He kind of added like you're not supposed to. So we're trying to fix him up a little bit. It's another beauty of the ISW chat room is not only do you get to see what we're all trading, but you also get the expertise of everybody in there kind of helping each other out. Really want this to break. I mean, all signs point to this thing breaking. I mean, look, it's just pretty much dead right here. There's like no range on this candle. It's kind of just like, okay, I give up. It's like playing possum. Just need to actually, if we can get under 70 again, I think we're good. There was the 72 break. See if we can get down through 70. You can do it. For everybody that's here too, if you guys, there we go. If you are as bored as me on Friday nights, just kidding, I'm not bored because I do the Friday night live stream, but that's what I'm getting at. If you guys have nothing to do tonight, 9:30 Eastern, I will be back doing the Friday night live stream. We do that every week as long as I am here. I think I've only missed one since I started it because I was away on vacation. So yeah, be here or be square. Might actually look to cover another half here. Huge order piled in there at 70 if it's real. I always say that with the level 2. You never know. And see? Just like that. It was a fake order. That's why you don't trust level 2. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum. Bum, 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 bum. See if we can just get that quick move back under 70. Doesn't look like it wants to go the other way on us. We're going to be patient with it. We'll stop out if we get above this candle here, 88. So we'll put it at 90. Stop out if it wants to get at 90, because then the odds are it might try to go higher again. But we're getting in the lunchtime hour here, so the odds are that's not going to happen. If anything, we might just go sideways. But if we can get down under 70 again, I'll probably just look to take this whole thing. Into the wrong, it was nice and cool. See people, and you always see that. You see the big orders flash up like 2 or 3 cents under the current price, and that's why level 2 is so fake, because that's just people propping it up. People see these orders, right? And they're like, oh crap, well we can't go through that. But then look, they just disappear. They just disappear, because that's the game. It's liar's poker. Loves putting things inside of things. So this actually makes me feel a little bit more confident. See, we're kind of getting an intense move up to this area. So we're actually going to, I mean, we might not even get to 88 anyway. Or 90, I should say. And I could have took that when we were under 70, and we were right at $50 on the P&L, but I don't really watch that. I mean, I look at it every once in a while, but I don't really like pay attention to it. I don't trade based off of it. But as you can see, what did we say earlier? 2 to 3 trades. So if we could have actually traded these in 2 to 3 trades, we would have been right at our quota for the day. I mean, APA we could have traded, but I'd explained that one earlier. It's not my favorite thing to trade. So we're actually getting the scanner to pop off here for XNet again. So we're right at that 88 area. So what is this candle at? 94. So maybe we will just use, I don't want to use the whole dollar though, because it's always a fake out. Let's just see what we do here. If we get back down in the 70s, maybe we'll just go ahead and take it off, because it does look like it wants to square. Okay, so it's just being gay at this point. Just seeing what it wants to do here, since it's a little bit of an intense move. There we go. We got shot back down. This could be a form of sloppy seconds. You know, we get the big move up, come down, bounce back up, bouncy ball effect, sloppy seconds. Trying to be a little bit patient with it. I see them. They were talking about me up there. I have to go read that in a second. I'm trying to just pay attention to this. Yep, that's a good idea. I mean, again, it was popping up on the scanners telling us that we were in an intense move. And it fits a strategy, right? It fits our sloppy second strategy. Got the bouncy ball. I was actually thinking about trying to add right there and just risking high of day, which would have made it a break-even trade if it didn't work. Excuse me. Which I still could, essentially. But we're just going to play it out, see what it wants to do. If we can get under 84 again, I think we'll get a nice little drop. At this point, though, we're just going to go ahead and take it if we get back down to this resistance area around 72. So like I said, back down in the 70s, we'll probably just look to take it. There we go. So I said 84, right? Yep. No, 82. You can get under 82. I'm coming, bud. So Daddy's gonna start the. Actually, I'm gonna start the oven while this is figuring out what it wants to do. What happened to your? What happened to your container? What happened to your container? Oh, there it is. Your brother is gonna be so mad that this is broke. What's wrong? Do you want to get up? I'm gonna make lunch here in a little bit. Ow! You went up or you went down? What'd you put in? What's not going on? Extend it. I just need to click it one more time. Oh no, we got down to the 70s, didn't we? We weren't here. Oh, there we go. There's the drop we were looking for. Follow through, follow through, follow through, follow through. There we go. Follow through, more follow through. Bouncing right off 72, huh? All right, we're just gonna take it there. We'll be happy with it. Gonna sit there and mess with us. I'm sure it'll go right through now that we got out, but yeah. And in a sense, you know, kind of in a descending triangle, in a sense, right? Got here, trend line. So we got out here at the bottom of that, but essentially it could go even further. That's what you'd be looking for. Yeah, nothing wrong with it, man. You're in a good trade if you got in right up there. Lots of good reasons. Top of the descending triangle, top of sloppy seconds, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's a solid trade. I mean, it probably does go lower, but we were just taking the trade that we were happy with, right? And towards the end of the day, ready to clock out, go to lunch, right at our quota for the day. So can't be too upset. Even though obviously only 1550 of it is real, but hey, practice is practice, right? Only one trade that we would have taken XNet for real. We just didn't have shares available. So that would have been exactly probably how we traded it too, to be honest. I mean, this does look like it's going to continue lower, if I had to guess. If I had to assume. Do not take that as financial advice. It is not. It is just my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only. There it goes, through 70. I have a lot to catch up on, apparently. 330-ish? Might be a little bit of a stretch, but I would say 350 is going to act as some tough support. $0.50, and you had previous resistance there. I mean, VWAP is actually right at 330-ish, but I do think if you get a big sell-off, like it looks like it's trying to, it might go right through 50, so you might be good. It might be like one big bar. Somebody got that PDD trade earlier. Good job, Thomas. There's a lot to catch up on. You guys are killing me up there. hate when I click things twice. Yes. Yes. But I only want one. There we go. I was ordering something off Amazon. Can you repeat your ad and what your entry criteria are? I didn't understand your calculation that much. Sure. I mean, I can, yeah. But it's going to be different. I mean, it's not different every time, but it's based off of something. So let's take VIPs, or let me pull this chart up here. It'd be much easier to show you real quick. So looking at VIPs, the move started from here, right? 1020 area. When I entered, it was right at around 11, so 80 cents. So I'm looking right here, right? 50 cents to $1, so we were 80 cents. So I just went with 100 because it was a little bit closer. So if it made a point move to start the move, I essentially think if I do get in early, that when I got in early, I feel that it's only going to go half of the initial move. So I would think it could go another 50 cents, like up to 11.50. So along the way to 11.50, I'm looking to cut that in half. So I would look to add from my original position around 11 at 11.25, and then again at 11.50. And I would use 100 shares, 100 shares, and then 200 shares. It's a 1-1-2 system. So basically, I'm risking $100 because if we pull up, just to show you. So if we pull up the calculator and we do 100 shares at $11, when that hits 11.25, that's $25, right? So 100 times 0.25. So we got $25. So now if that same 100 shares gets to 11.50, you add another 25 shares, but we also added another 100 shares. So we would have 50 on the initial, so we'd be at 75 shares, right? Or $75 that were down. So then we hit that top add and we have that $25 cushion for a $100 max loss to add the two part of our 1-1-2 strategy, assuming that that is the top. And we're obviously assuming it's going to come down and make a retracement move. But if it doesn't, it decides to consolidate towards the top here. Like if it just decided to consolidate and then go higher, then we would look to cut the position and we'd be right at our max loss. So that's essentially how the strategy works on the losing side. In this case, yes, it would be 100, 100, 200. But say we started with 50 shares, say it was the original move was 2 points, as you see here, it would be 50, 50, 100. So whatever the original share size that we take, we're looking to add that one more time. In this case, it would be 50 cents away because if it was 2 points, we're assuming it can still move another point. So in between that point, we cut that in half. So we'd be looking to add every 50 cents, and we'd probably use the $half whole dollar. Correct. That's the idea. That is how my strategy is being implied at this current moment in time. Yes. Obviously, this is not obviously a holy grail or anything like that. It's just what the more and more I trade this way, the more and more I've found that this is basically what I'm doing. So I found out that if I take my max risk of $100 and I divide it by the initial move size, that's what I get for share size for an initial entry. So basically, it's leaving me that last quarter to get my add in to put me right near my $100 max loss. Yep. So you could essentially take, like if you took, if you only wanted to risk $50 a trade, you would take 50 and then divide that by 25 cents and your initial share size would be 200, right? I mean, obviously that kind of makes sense if you could have just did that in your head, but that's how you would do it. So say you want your max risk to be $75. You take it, divide it by 0.25. So if the move is 25 cents, it would be 300 shares. And obviously if you did like a point move, it would obviously be 75, but just to show you, so you would take 75 divided by 1 and 75 shares. So you just take your max loss and you divide it by the the initial move when you make your entry. Now, the entry itself, that's something that you can't really base off of numbers. That's more of a feel thing, right? It's more of looking for other factors. Like your initial entry is really based off of what you deem your edge and your strategy. So mine is looking at resistance being broken and extending away, right? And then I'm feeling the trade to find a top, right? So that's how I enter a trade the first time. So when I feel like that's the top, then I take the other things into consideration, the move size, and then my risk and all that stuff. So it's a lot that goes into your entry itself, but then on top of that, you also need to adjust your risk accordingly, because as the move's happening, you need to realize, and that's why I made this chart, because I was doing this in my head, but now I just made this chart because now I can just glance up at it and kind of have an idea of exactly. I just look, okay, it's a point move. Okay, that's 100 shares. I'm in. Yep, no problem. Let's see if we can X that out. I'll go back down here. Make sure he's still. Always got to give him the quick glance to make sure he's still alive. Does anybody have any other questions? I was going to say, I feel like these charts are just not being cool. The fact that you have to like click on them to reload them. So we did get under that descending trend. It was a little bit of a fake out. If we don't have any other questions, I'm going to look to go ahead and make lunch so I can get the little one down for his nap. I'll go ahead and make my video for the day. And yeah, we'll be back tonight. Don't forget to come back tonight. We'll be doing the Friday night live stream. As of right now, I don't have a topic picked. I'm most likely going to pick something to talk about tonight. And then obviously, as always, we'll answer any questions, kind of do a little bit of a free-for-all after whatever that topic is that we discuss. So don't forget to hit that like button. Anyway, can I get 2 people to hit it that haven't hit it already? Give me 10 likes. That'd be nice. But yeah, 9:30 Eastern tonight is the live stream. If you guys are bored and don't have anything to do, come hang out. Maybe we can learn something, right? We never stop learning. This is all we think about. That's why I always say Fridays are a happy but sad day, right? Happy because it's the weekend, you get to spend more time with your family, but you're sad because you don't get to trade for 2 days. So appreciate that. Appreciate the like, Mr. Young Triad. If you guys aren't subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the little notification bell, because every time I do go live, it'll let you know. That's always fun. So you guys can come check me out. This is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing as of right now, until probably February. I think February is when we're sending the oldest full-time to school. So then we'll look to do it every day, as long as the little one's good. Because now the rest of the day I let him take a nap after we eat lunch, and then the rest of the day we sit down and do like our little bit of learning that we can try to do. But he tends to learn a lot from just watching this stuff too. But it's kind of crazy. It's like a teacher in the background. You don't even have to pay attention as long as they're being good. But that's all I have for now, guys. Stay tuned for the video a little bit later. Don't forget to comment on that if you have any questions, or just comments in general. Don't forget to hit like on the video as well. It's always awesome. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Helps grow the channel a little bit. We're getting so close. We're getting there. We're at 70% of our goal of 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. Don't really care about that stuff, but it's cool to know that people are supporting me. And we're just here to grow as a community, right? The more people we have in here, the more people we have to bounce ideas off of. Just like today, the engagement here was good. So I love seeing the comments on the videos, just because it's always good to not only have the video, but, dive deeper into the video. Maybe we missed something. Maybe somebody has a question about something, and maybe somebody else will come and read those comments, and it might answer their question if they're a little too shy to ask the question themselves. So the engagement there is awesome, and I appreciate it. So I will see you guys tonight if you do decide to stop by the live stream. If not, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Let me know all about it Monday morning when we do that live stream, and I'll see you guys later, hopefully. Peace.